So let's talk about KUIU's first layer shirts they offer. I have a couple, and there is quite a bit of difference between them. The first one I bought was this one here, and it was a Peloton 118 LS Crew is what this is. No hood, comes down a little bit below your belt, has thumb holes in it, and it feels good. 5.5 ounces, costs about $79, and it's made from a TORAY Primeflex material. And I actually looked that up, and it's actually used in everything. They use it in golf shirts, sailboating. It's just apparently an amazing material for keeping you dry if you get wet. And obviously, they made a deal with the company, put their pattern on it, and now it's for sale. What I don't like about the Peloton is it's just too short. Now, if you're a guy who goes to the gym, you're in there 3 hours every day, you got a perfectly flat belly, then it's probably the shirt for you. But if you're an old man like me and you got a little bit of a gut on you and you're trying your best to lose weight, but it becomes harder as you get older, this will not fit you properly. It does fit me, it does come below my belly and everything, but if you were to put your hands like straight up in the air, you would probably see your gut. And that's a big thing. I actually sent them an email complaining about that. Then we have Ultra Merino 120 LTLS hoodie. And that's this one here. Now this comes as a hoodie and not a hoodie, is what this does. Now this one, and they're all long sleeves because I don't see a point to wearing short sleeve if you're out hunting, because what are you going to do, camouflage your whole arm? That makes no sense to me. So you have a hoodie and you have no hoodie. It's up to you what you want to buy. If you buy it with no hoodie, it's $89. If you buy it with the hoodie, it's $109. Now, it's made with, merino wool is what it's made with. 70% merino, 30% nylon. And it weighs 5.7 ounces. They say this is heavier than this, but when I'm feeling them in my hand, the Ultra Merino feels lighter. It just does. Now, most people would buy the Ultra Merino 120 without a hood because it's your base layer. You're probably going to have something on after that that has a hood, and that's probably what you're going to have. But most people would buy it without the hood, so you'd be looking at $89. Now, merino wool has been known forever to be one of the best wools for wicking away sweat from your body and keeping you warm. And because they add 30% nylon, which is really nice that KUIU does that, this feels really good on the skin. So does this, but I would say this has got a softer feel to it, and it feels a little bit better. Now, why the hood? Well, in my case, I'm going to buy a couple more of these without the hood, but I bought it with the hood because that's going to be my nighttime pajamas. So the hood's going to go above my head on a cool night. I'm going to have my pants on and probably a hat, and over top of the hood and a pair of gloves. So that's why I bought that. Now the merino wool does keep you warm. Keeps you very, very warm. It also keeps you cool. It's kind of strange that way. You would think if it's keeping you warm, then it's no good for summer, right? When actually it is pretty good for summer, because when you sweat, it wicks the sweat off your body and then the air dries the outside of it and just gets rid of it. Now another thing merino wool is known for is your stink, your smell. So when you start stinking up your shirt under your armpits and everything, it takes longer to make these things stink. You can probably go a couple of weeks before you really start smelling yourself. Merino wool is amazing when it comes to that. Now, is it the best wool? No. The best wool, and KUIU has nothing in that yet, is alpaca wool. That is considered the best of the best when it comes to wool for hiking or any type of outdoor sports is what that is. Now, I don't have anything made with this TORAY Primeflex that they have in the Peloton. I, this is the first time I've been introduced to it. So it's okay. I mean, both these shirts are pretty amazing. This feels, the Ultra Merino wool feels more like t-shirt material. It feels like a cotton. It really does. It feels very comfortable. I would say the Ultra Merino wool is more comfortable than the Peloton. By a hair, not even by much, not even where you'd notice it. Now, KUIU released a line of summer shirts, and I'd asked what's the difference in length compared to this Ultra Merino one, and they said it's not much difference, but it is a hair. This is a little longer. So it sounds to me, the Ultra Merino 120 is the longest shirt you can get. And if you have a belly or you're trying to cover up your belly or when you put your arms up, like I'm saying, that's probably the one you want to go with, is what you want to do. Now, I would go with probably, I'm going to buy 2 more short sleeves. And I would get one with a hood simply because you could use it for your pajamas at night when you sleep. Because this feels really good on you. When I pulled this out of the mailbox and put it on, I was like, oh man, this feels good. I was just amazed. Now, what was weird about this, all this KUIU stuff I've ordered, this is the only thing that came in a box. It came in its own box with a whole bunch of decoration marketing on it. And I was like, that's pretty cool. But all my other stuff felt like it was pulled out of a box and just shoved in a bag. Because everything came in a bag or sealed in plastic. It didn't have its own box. So I did find that quite interesting. But if you're going to buy your first undergarment that goes against your skin like a skin, the one I would go with is the Ultra Merino. And you probably would go without the hood, which is $89. And there's your first piece of camo, your t-shirt, right there. Okay? Covers your sleeves all the way to get the long sleeve so it goes all the way down. Pick yourself a pair of camo gloves, the lightest and the thinnest they got. So now your hands are covered. You got your hands and your body covered. Now all you need is a thing that comes up over your face, a hat. You're done. See, a lot of people say, well, I can't afford KUIU. It's KUIU. It's just too much money. They are kind of high priced, but it depends when you look at it. Some things they're using some real high quality things in their clothing. Like merino wool is not cheap. Even when you buy it for hiking, I mean, this is $89 without the hood. And it has merino wool. Now, everything else I've looked at when it comes to hiking, you're looking at over $100 for merino wool. And it all depends on the thickness. Now, the Peloton is thicker. This is a thicker fabric. The merino wool is thinner. I can literally, when I pull this apart, okay, I don't know if I can put it on the camera or not. Probably not, but I don't know if you can see that or not. But you can see where the fabric has been put together. And it does have some stretch to it. So, like I said, if you're going to go for your first line of defense, your first layer, I would go with the Ultra Merino 120 without the hood. That's what I would go with. And you're looking at $89. So you could probably get a complete setup from your waist to your head, probably for under $250. And run a pair of brown nylon pants that I showed in the last video, which I'll link in this one if you want to go check it out. And for $45, and you'll have a pretty good setup. Now, the only thing you're working on that is the next layer and the next layer. So you're working on like a fleece, and then you're working on like a down jacket. And that's where those two get pretty expensive. But you can get some base layer stuff for a decent price and then work your way into it slowly. Like, I don't buy all this stuff all at once. Like, I've been prepping for hunting season now for a good 6 months. So I've been buy one here, one there. Like, I want to get two more of these of this Merino, Ultra Merino wool, but without the hood. And at $89 a pop, well, it's almost 200 bucks with tax and everything. Super light, that's another thing. Bulk, it packs down great. I mean, I wasn't impressed with KUIU's pants, and I'll have that video if you want to check it out. But these shirts, I really like these. I really do. And they feel really good on the skin, and they work well. I've taken them outside in 120, 115 degree heat here, and I walked around my yard just sweating like a pig with both of these shirts to see how they would do. And then I actually asked my wife, I said, can you smell these? Tell me how bad they smell. There was more order to this than there was the merino wool. She wasn't too pleased with me asking her to do that. Because odor is a big thing when you hunt deer. You want to remove as much odor as possible, right? And I think the best way to go for your first undergarment when it comes to KUIU is the Ultra Merino 120 LTLS Crew T is what this is. And I don't put links when it comes to this stuff. I mean, you can go to KUIU and do a search for what I'm saying. I'll put some names in the bottom to make it easier for you. But websites change and stuff. But you can't go wrong with either one. I like them both, and I do wear them both. But I'm more leaning toward the merino wool because it feels better against the skin, and it really feels good when I'm wearing it, and it stretches and everything. So I don't have any complaints whatsoever with either one of these shirts. And this one seems to have a little bit more shine to it, where the other one's a more duller color. I prefer the duller color. So here's a quick review on the two shirts I've bought, and give you some consideration on what you might want to buy. Catch you guys on the next one.